Well, welcome to the Tea at 22, the next in Spectator's regular series of video interviews with fascinating Westminster figures. I'm Isabel Hardman, the assistant editor at The Spectator, and I'm joined today by Michael Fallon, the Spectator's Minister for the Year and Business Minister and Energy Minister. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
So which of the two departments that you work in would look the most different under Conservative-only government?
That's pretty hard to answer. I mean, certainly in the business department, I hope we would have made employment law a lot easier and simpler, just making it easier for people to get on the employment ladder by removing all those restrictions that make small companies nervous about taking on any single extra member of staff that they actually need.
So you think the Lib Dems have maybe left the labour market a little bit more gummed up than you would have liked?
Yes, we would certainly have liked to have gone further. Certainly for people starting in their first job or whatever. There are far too many people actually who are now working for nothing as interns, when actually they should be able to get that first leg on the ladder.
What sort of things would you do to help them?
Well, do they really need the full panoply of employment protection and all those kind of rights when they're just starting off?
And on energy, how would the department look different? I can imagine it would look very different given some of the public rows that have taken place.
Well, I think we inherited from Labour essentially an energy policy that was a climate change policy. They had signed up to all these various targets and hadn't really worked out how we were going to get there. And I think if we'd had a free hand from 2010, I hope we would have been more focused much earlier on making sure the two key things were there, that there is enough energy to make sure the lights don't go out and that it is affordable.
And just moving on to Europe more generally, how would you vote if there were a referendum on our membership of the EU tomorrow?
Well, I voted yes last time, and I'm not sure what the question would be if it was tomorrow, but given we've set out now a programme of the reforms we would like to see, and you'll see more in the manifesto. Obviously, I hope we can get a reformed Europe that we can live with. But it's going to have to be quite different to the one we have at the moment. So it's going to have to be much less bureaucratic, much less coercive, homogenising, centralising. It's going to have to get away from all that and be outward-looking, liberal, and genuinely competitive for the rest of the world.
So you must personally have your own list of things that you really like to see reformed in the European Union or within our relationship with Europe. Are there any two that you could share with us?
Well, I'd certainly like to see it on employment law and social protection. I'd like to see it make easier to employ young people. It is a scandal that we have 6 million people under the age of 25 in Europe. I think the 17th largest member state, if they were all put together, who have no work at all, mainly in the Mediterranean countries. And we have to make it easier for small businesses to flourish in those countries and to employ people.
And how much of this detail of the Prime Minister's shopping list would you expect to see before the 2015 manifesto is published? So in the next few months before the European elections, after the European elections, are you hoping for more meat for Conservatives to see what the PM would like to do?
Yes. We've already set out some of the preliminary things we'd like to achieve, and the Prime Minister's already achieved quite a bit. He's got the budget going down for the first time ever, and has shown how you can block laws in Brussels and by exercising the veto. But we've also been conducting something called the Balance of Competences Review, reviewing every area of legislation and seeing what further powers we can bring back. And that is the kind of meat I want to see in the next manifesto.
Although many of your colleagues were very unhappy with what's been published so far in the Balance of Competences Review, they saw it as a sort of Europhile whitewash, which said that everything was fine in Europe and we didn't need to reform anything. Do you recognise that description?
Well, it's department by department, isn't it? I hope my own departments have made it clear where we're not so happy, where we think there is too much legislation, where there really is a case for bringing these things back to the member states. So you need to look at it department by department. But that is what will be new at the election. We'll be setting out the amount that we want to repatriate and where it lies.
And how about how you deal with Ukip? What's your plan for Ukip?
I think we need to front up to Ukip, not run away from them. We need to take them on their own arguments.
Are you running away from them at the moment?
No, but I think we have to engage them properly. I don't think it's enough just to say they're completely batty or whatever. I think we have to front up to them, take them on those central arguments, and ask them, where they expect Britain to be if we were to suddenly leave. What the plan is, who would we join up with? What would our trading relationships be? You know, what jobs are actually at stake here. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a mystical pro-European to see that leaving Europe isn't quite that simple. And I think we need to, challenge them policy by policy.
So is the party not doing enough of that at the moment then?
Well, we have to do it now, in the run-up from now till the European elections, because they are always UKIP's time. So, this is the time that we should be doing it.
Brilliant. Well, Michael Fallon, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in the new year with another Tea at 22 episode. Thank you.